And boom.
All right, folks, here we are on Trading Up. We've got Feriano in the house. He's about to break down his ICT-style strategy. This guy's a six-figure trader. He's been doing it for a number of years, and we're about to see exactly how he marks up the chart and breaks down his trading strategy. So, Feriano, welcome back to the show.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So yeah, here I'm going to be doing a breakdown of a trade I actually taken last week on Wednesday. And as you guys can see on the chart, we are currently on the YM instrument, which for people that trade Forex, this will be US 30 essentially. You see some marker on the chart right here. This is Tokyo, London, and Asia. I utilize this indicator called FX market session. So if you go to the indicator section here, you type FX market session. Sorry. FX market session by Boitoki. This is my go-to indicator for session, right? This will mark out the session highs and lows for Asia, London, and Tokyo, Asia, London, and New York. So now that we are here, as I mentioned prior, my system has essentially 3 to 4 steps. So step number one, you want to identify a 15 minutes, right? Or a 1 hour fair value gap. That's step number one. And then pair with that, step number two, you want to make sure you pass fails to grab a major psych level. Right? So we're going to define exactly what these are, and everything in my system is objectively defined. So nothing is going to have subjective meaning attached to it. So for example, right here, this is where the day opened, right? The day began moving here and then created Asia high right here, and then pushed back here and then expanded again, but we didn't really grab Asia high, as you guys can see right here. We dipped significantly here, but we didn't really close with body. And then it looks like price is trying to continuously move higher from where we currently stopped. But let's look at what did we actually fail to grab above here. If you carefully look here, we have this level that I mentioned before, which is 44,900. So you guys can see right here. So this will be our MPL. I'm just going to shorten it for you guys. Major psychological level, right? This is a level that ends with 00 or 30, right? So you need to mark out these levels. Those are very, very powerful level to identify. And then another level right here is 700, right? You have another level by 7. This is just examples, right? So now that we marked that, as price went from here or here to this level and failed to grab it, did we create any 15-minute fair value gap along the way? If you grab the rectangle tool and then you scan, you can clearly see we have a 15-minute fair value gap right here, right? 15-minute FVG that we have here. So all you have to do from this point on is look for price to pull back into this 15-minute fair value gap right here, reject, and then deliver to this MPL right here, right? This major psychological level. And all I'm going to do now is go back down to the 1 minute time frame right here. So price came back down and it's touching that 15-minute fair value gap.
Now, futures traders, Blue Guardian can fund you up to $450K backed by weekly payouts, and because they sponsor Birmingham City FC, you know you're onto a winner. Go take a look at blueguardianfutures.com or click the link in the description.
So as you guys can see, we left this key level here, came to this level and failed to grab it, right? And now price is returning to what? To that 15-minute fair value gap. So now is where I'm going to identify or try to identify a unicorn breaker. So the way to identify a unicorn breaker is very, very simple. You need to mark out qualified swing highs and lows price create on that pullback. So the qualified swing high that we have here, the first one is going to be this one, right? It's going to be a qualified swing high. The next qualified swing low after that is going to be this one. The next after that is going to be this one. The next going to be this one. The next going to be this one. And then the final one is going to be this. So since this is the last qualified swing that took out this low, we simply price the break back above this high with bodies. Once it does, you will have a unicorn breaker.
Is that just like another way of saying sort of break a structure, or is it
market structure? Yeah, market structure shift or a V-shaped recovery. It has different name, but the way I define it is very objective because let's say another trader on other people a lot of the time may put this as a unicorn breaker, where for me it will not be, because they may
Right.
say this is a qualified swing, but for me I define qualified swing a little bit uniquely due to the fact that, so you have a swing high here that pushed down, right? The reason why I call this right here a swing low is because if you look carefully, we have bearish plus bullish right here, and then you have another bullish candle right here that closed above that. See, if we just had a bullish, bearish, and bullish, and then you just have a bunch of bullish candle that stays below this level that I marked out here, you never have a qualified correction prior
Right.
to price moving lower. So therefore, this is the last swing high, right? And anything that's here that does not break is just part of the expansion to the downside until you have the true correction. So if all this week right here, we didn't have this bullish candle that closed above this black line that I mark here, which is simply the high of this bullish candle, the very first bullish candle that we checked here, then all this is just part of the expansion to the sell side. Then in case if that were to happen, our first qualified swing low would have been here instead after this high.
Right. Yeah. Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
then
Gotcha.
that's how I objectively define my key swing essentially on the 1 minute. So that's essentially where we want to see the breaker from here. So I'm going to mark out my template here for unicorn breaker, and then we're simply going to wait for breaker to form here. And if you remember, I said between 9:30 and 12:22, right? That's going to be the pocket window. So this is 9:30 right here, and 12:22 is somewhere in vacation all the way down here. There we go. We know it's somewhere there, right? We're going to leave it there. So we're within our window. The reason why I'm only going to look for entry in that window is because that's where we're going to get the most amount of volatility, especially when price is trying to grab one of those major cycle levels, right? That's kind of like the reasoning behind that. So all you have to do now is kind of play price and wait for price to close above that. Once price do close above that, this was essentially my entry right here. Stop loss can be at the body of the last candle on your unicorn breaker, and or it can simply be at the swing low. And then my target here would have been this psychological level right here, exactly the major psychological level. My stop loss for this trade was actually right here at the body, the last body before. I'm going to just mark it out here for you guys to see. So the last inversion on this unicorn breaker is right here. So I felt very confident that we're not going to break below this level. And if price do reverse and start pulling back here, I'll simply move it, much below the swing to just have peace of mind. But a lot of the time, I'll move it a little bit higher just so I can have a really healthy risk to reward. Because a lot of the seller that I catch, once it falls within my sweet spot, like the 0.7 to 1 to 2, if you look at this, right, what's the risk to reward for this? 0.7, right? Once it fall in that window, I know it's not going to give me a major pullback. So a lot of the time, I'll be a little bit aggressive with my stop loss. And then if it pulls back on me, I'll comfortably move. I'll be completely fine being taken out, taking a slightly higher loss on the trade because I know it's an A+ setup that I'm taking anyway.
Hey folks, what a view behind me. I'm at Black Bull Markets headquarters here in Auckland, New Zealand. Speaking of views, you can get TradingView paid plans for free at Black Bull Markets, and you can also get a 100% deposit bonus for your first deposit up to $1,000. All you need to do is click the Trading Nut link in the description below.
So my stop loss for this was somewhere around here. I left it there, and then I'm going to play price for you guys. And boom. When price eventually hit, this trade took about 10, this entry was about somewhere around 10 a.m. and it lasted about 25 minutes, right? So when price pulled back here, I was completely fine. As long as, like I say, I don't see price reach for this inversion. If it came down further, I would have simply moved my stop loss here and then, let it play out essentially. But when you trade a system, when you understand you have breathing room, depending on how you manage your trade, you can allow yourself to make much more money and increase your profit factor, right? It's all about how you manage your trade. That's why a lot of the time you may see people that have a weird negative RR, but they're able to manage it to make more money on those trades because they understand they're going to get enough expansion within that move. So that's a little bit of a trade experience that I gained from, optimizing and trading within this system. So it's a little bit of a nugget there. But after price hit my target, just want you guys to see what exactly happened here after. Look at the reaction of that major cycle level. And I have people in my community literally that would take reversal entry, which I tell them not to do, but they do. And they take
Right.
reversal entry off those psych level because they know that's where the high the day form. So if between 10 a.m. they get like a reaction of a psych level after a major move, they'll literally take the reversal of that measures. That's the whole system. One another trader in my community, his name is Haitian Mate, actually have. One of his entry setup is actually that. I don't trade that because I don't want to have headache. I like simple stuff. I like simple thing, but I teach people to really understand where high and the low of the day form. So if I go to the 15-minute time frame and then just see what happened later on that day for that after that move, as you guys can see, price even reached for that level, touched that major cycle level again, and look at that reaction took us much further and much
Mm.
lower afterward. So this is essentially where those major reaction that you will see high or low of the day will form around. So if price fail to grab that, you can have a lot of conviction for as far as for reasoning for price to actually move back towards that target. So you can take that, build a model around that. You can take it and trade the exact same way that I'm showing you right here. I'm not gatekeeping or anything. This is literally the model that I utilize. This is what helped me get to six figure in trading, essentially.
Hey, if candlesticks still confuse you, they're costing you more than you think. My private mentor JJ's decoded 25,000 hours of trading into one better candlestick. Click the link in the description or visit tradingnut.com to watch the free video and grab the free guide.
Well, folks, look, that was a fantastic breakdown. And if you do want to hear us talk about reversal trading, then we did a podcast. Go and check it out right now. It's links under the video here. Feriano breaks down that, and he talks about the fact that he's got an 85% win rate and why he doesn't always go for a 1-to-1 plus risk to reward. So yeah, go and check that out. But before you do, what's the best way for traders to find out more about you?
Yeah, the best way to find about me and reach out to me is going to be on Instagram with arcane.trades. Or you can also reach out to me on X or Twitter with Feriano FX. And you can also obviously check me out on YouTube with my channel. It's going to be Feriano Trade or Arcane Trade as well. You can definitely find me. Just type in that. So those are going to be the best way to essentially find me or reach out to me.
Brilliant. Well, look, folks, what we'll do is hook all those links up in the show notes. There's a link under this video here. Go and check it out. Whilst you're down there, hit subscribe, like, and that notifications bell, and we'll see you in the next one.